Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care, just along for the ride. But if you want my stand, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
All right, welcome to the Dungeon Dads podcast. I'm your dungeon master, Tom Blaylock, and I mean, this is it.
Yes,
we're getting ready for this. We've been working on this for a while now, and it's time to start recording. Time to start getting deep into this. So I want to introduce the Dad Gang that we have here. We're going to start off first with Tim Carr.
Hello,
Tim.
Let me give you.
And
sorry, I will give you my character here just momentarily.
Yeah, tell us who.
Clearly, I had the wrong thing in front of me.
You give such good character, Tim. You really do. You give good character.
We talked out this intro. We really went over it together, nailed all the fine points, and we were like, "This thing is gonna run like a fine-tuned machine."
Like a fine-tuned machine.
Everybody, when he hits that record button, get ready.
Like
to
a
turn it on.
like a Volvo.
Please don't hit
a
stop
1997
yet.
Volvo.
Please give us another 8 minutes. I'm Filnyr Omajari. I am a half-elf who grew up in Lakeshire, which is a town of halflings. I spent most of my adult life aiding a diplomat of Neverwinter in the Neverwinter consulate in Lakeshire, and also giving tours of the Neverwinter Museum, which is housed in the same building. The other thing I excelled at while I was there is making a cream puff using a vanilla and purple lingonberry that only grows in the outskirts of Neverwinter.
Oh, Phil there.
I'm not quite finished. I barely survived an attack that took my diplomat's life, thanks to a magical blade imbued with power. That blade, called Perso Incompetent, is now my patron and promises more power to me as I satisfy its requests, though I don't know what those requests are yet.
Ooh, worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, very good. All right, next up is John Watson.
That's right.
Who's playing a wizard. Tell us who you are.
That's right. I'm playing Jonas Silhavind, disgraced noble, studious wizard, business owner, time traveler. 2 years ago, I left my home in Monterre to run my uncle's shop near Forta Pass and prove I'm worthy of my noble inheritance. Through some means I do not fully understand, I was sent through a portal to get there faster and ended up traveling to the current time, which for me is 2 years in the future. I find my store has been run into the ground by my half-brother and is now in significant debt. I'm not afraid of snakes, but I do hate them, which is why my first ever spell was to summon my fearsome familiar, a cobra-killing mongoose named Saber. My loyal servant, Mr. Percy, is the only one who knows how to press my robes the right way and pack my favorite sausages.
All right, Jonas Silverwind.
Jonas Silhavind, please.
Okay. All right. And last up, we have the old man in the group, who's actually the youngest of all of us, Sam Frank. Tell us about Abel.
I got to settle back into this.
Okay, here we go.
Everybody else is so high energy.
Yeah, right.
That's why we brought you in.
We're way too intense.
Just bring it down, buddy. Bring it down. Abel, sometimes called Rock Brother, former cleric of Tempest, recent hermit of Red Cloud Mountain, new recruit in the Harkness army. I'm a crusty old veteran who's been in seclusion for a few decades, trying to avoid the will of Tempest, the bloodthirsty god of war who chose me as his champion. Now, I hope that by joining a do-nothing army, I can keep Tempest happy without turning back into the blood-soaked war priest of my youth. Living up on the mountain alone for all those years was tough for a gregarious fella like me, and I'm real happy to be back among people again.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Abel, Jonas, and Filnyr. Well, welcome to the Breen, everybody. So, to get you placed, we are in a disputed part of Faerun. It's called the Breen. This is the first day before the full moon, which means it's enlistment day at Fort Hapas. And even though the army of the Kingdom of Harkness is famous for its discrimination against non-humans, here at this fort in the King's Foot of the Breen, there are some elves and some dwarves who wear the red and the black. And the war between Duke Adar, who's the blue guys across the border there, and King Robert Hark, that's our guy. It's now in its second generation. And while some border territory has remained in constant conflict for the last 22 years, the Breen has settled into an easy détente, where it's common for young men and women in the region to sign up to fight on whichever side happens to pay the most. And at the moment, that side is Harkness. It's been almost 20 months since the last casualty of war in the Breen on either side, and that was when a group of bandits set up camp and raided blue and red alike. Both sides worked together to assault the rogues' camp. The blues lost 8, the reds lost 7, and over 30 bandits were killed in what is now known as the Battle of the Bands. It is in this context that our heroes have signed up for the sleepiest army in the coldest front of a war raging many hundreds of miles away. And we're now in Fort Hapas, a town that has sprung up that has a martial purpose to protect the troops that are there, but it's become much more of a community since it's been sort of kept out of the fight. Everyone is now sort of looked around this town, and they have seen that it looks like it's made for about 300 to 400 soldiers, but there's only 50 men here. There's tents everywhere, and it looks like there's been a mass exodus recently. Inside a shop, on the outside, there has been multiple names sort of scratched out of what this shop is called, and currently it is called, what is it called, Jonas?
Currently it's called Schnobix, much to my chagrin.
Schnobix Chagrin is the name of the store. And inside Schnobix Chagrin sits a very well kept, dark skinned man in purple robes, and he sits on the floor playing cards by himself. It's not exactly called solitaire. It's solitaire hasn't been invented yet. It's a game. It's a game called Kings No Queens, and the man who's playing the cards looks up occasionally and takes a deep, deep sigh, and his servant named Percy is walking around cleaning up nothing at all. It's a completely empty store, save for a chest that has a cloak draped over it, and a few sticks that it appears Jonas carried in with him when he first arrived at the store. There's also 2 bunk beds set up where there was once a wall of books, and over the old bookshelf it says, "Histories, gods, and spells even a briny could cast." There's a knock at the door, and the man sitting down playing Kings No Queens stands up and opens it. And outside is a rather tall older gentleman with a beard and flowing orange robes, and as the door opens, he says, "Oh, hello, General. Good of you to see me in such short notice. May I come in and bring my companions, please?"
What exactly is going on here?
"Oh, your promised payment, General Jonas, sir." And the man sort of walks right past you. This is the commander of the base, and you've already met him once before. And this time he's followed by 3 retainers. 2 of them are wearing cloaks, and one of them is much younger, also dark skinned like you, and he has got a plumed blouse on that is black and red, and he comes in and he's very complimentary. He says, "Oh, goodness, sir. Very, very nice. I love what you've done to the inside of old Schnobik's chagrin.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. This place was an absolute disaster. If I'm going to rebuild it, I need to start from scratch, and the first thing we need to do is get it cleaned up.
Well, I am here to give you the good news, sir. And he pulls out of his bag a rolled up scroll, and he hands it to you, and he says, "I think you're going to love this. It's a copy of Agnazar's Scorcher. It's a spell even a briny could learn," as the bookshelf says.
This is you're offering me a spell. It sounds like an evocation spell.
Oh, it is an evocation spell, sir. I knew you'd love it. No, this is not. I'm offering this to you. This was one of the things left over here when Schnobik up and left, and I wanted to help you get on your feet in exchange for the agreement you made yesterday to help lead this fine army.
Well, thank you very much. This is a very fine gift.
Oh, yeah, it's not a gift. It's not a gift. It's a payment to help you get on your feet and let your store get running. We need a good store here. Am I right, Kutch? Oh, yes, sir. I'm very happy to have a store here. Yes, I'm very, very happy. And Kutchin opens up another scroll and shows it to you, and it's just a lot of gobbledygook, official, etc., general, etc., Jonas, spearman. Please sign here. It's we're very excited to have you leading the charge.
Yes, well, I'm happy to join. Do you know when I get to meet my men?
You're in luck right now. We are going to head out to the tent, give him a good inspirational speech if you don't mind, and we'll head out there now, General.
All right, let's do it.
All right,
Mr. Percy, continue with the cleaning, and I shall be back shortly to let you know how it goes. Take care, ta-ta.
Probably not. You are going to be campaigning as soon as we can possibly handle it. I don't know if you can tell, we are very undermanned here, sir. General, sir.
Campaigning as soon as you possibly, but what about my store?
Oh, where better to find things to sell than out on the campaign?
I suppose you're correct. I just hope that I have a chance to at least come by and make sure I can give my man some instructions before we leave.
I'm sure that will not be a problem.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And please, let us go.
All right. So you walk outside, and you've gotten kind of used to you've only been here about a day, but you've gotten kind of used to the absolute squalor of the fort. There are the footpath is just raised wood that's right in the mud. And if one person passes another, and they don't want to rub against each other the way, a commoner seems to always want to do, they have to step off the wooden path and right into the mud. And it's not clear whether or not that is actually mud or runoff from the line of shit buckets that's against the eastern side of the wall. It's quite off-putting to you. And as you sort of take in the air, you realize that maybe campaigning would not be such a terrible idea, and leave Mr. Percy to handle the nastiness of the fort and the store. So you walk out, and you see that they've put together a few extra tents than when you first arrived. And there is a line of men outside the fort, sort of still signing up. And Waverly Cloudsack, who was the man you were talking to, this is the commander of the fort. He continues to lead you, and he says, "May I introduce you to the fine gentlemen of the Good Shower Spearmen. This will be the main tent for your campaign, General Sir." And he hears, like, a couple of people hear him say that, and they sort of laugh. And he continues on. He shoots him a look, and he says, "Allow me to show you right into your men's quarters, sir." And he opens up a tent that's just a really large red tent. I mean, it's at least 10 feet by 10 feet. And you go inside, and there are several posts set up with hammocks sort of stretched between the posts, and there is a single bed in the whole tent, and you see that an old man wearing a loincloth and nothing else is laid out on the bed. There's another person who's sitting in the tent who is sitting right on the muddy floor. He's got a helmet that's just covered in flowers that he is drinking water straight out of, which is truly disgusting. And then you see Kutch walk in behind Cloudsack, and he sits up in one of the hammocks that's hanging from the wall.
How you doing, Cuddy?
Oh, it's good to see you again, Savior Abel. Did you know that they've put me in your unit?
Well, goody for me.
And goody for me too. I've heard tell from Hark, from the king himself, that he wanted me in the Savior of Kutch, and right as close to the Savior of Kutch as he could possibly get.
Heard that from the king yourself, did you?
The king himself, yes. Well, through my mother.
So you're Abel.
Yeah, that's me.
Are you by chance a friend of the dwarves?
I've certainly met one or two. I'd like to call them my friend. We tend to talk every at least 2 or 3 years while I was up on the Red Cloud Mountain. I mean, that's as good of friends as I had that was, talking people.
All right. I happened to run into a dwarf that spoke very highly of an Abel. His name was Voryax, Rorschach, maybe Vorshak?
Harback, Holdershek?
I believe I've heard that name as well.
As I'm saying this, I know it's not going to sound right, but all those dwarves kind of look alike to me.
Oh my. I'm sure they would not appreciate you saying something like that.
Listen, I got a little set in my ways up there on the mountain, but I'm real happy to be down here among folk again. I'm learning things. I'm becoming more cosmopolitan. This is a real cosmopolitan place. That's a word that I just learned actually this week, cosmopolitan. So, it's things are going well.
I can see that. Did you learn when you were learning about being cosmopolitan? Did you learn about clothing?
Yeah. Hold on.
Thank you. I would really. The smell is. It's really.
And I come back with my I guess my Hark uniform on.
I'm just gonna yeah, all the way, yeah.
I mean, this is
fantastic.
Do I know his new exalted position yet?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Fantastic. No. Now you are looking more like a soldier in my army.
Your army? Oh.
Yes, I would be the general of this unit, and I'm looking forward to whipping you all into shape, as it were.
Well, goody for me, I guess.
Yes, it's most definitely a goody for you.
All right.
Is there an opportunity for me to speak to the men?
It's just sort of look both ways around the tent at various men in various states of lounging and disrepair, and I just sort of gesture expansively.
These are my men?
I mean, they are men. I would assume you would know better which ones is yours and which ones is not.
No, I Mr. Cloudsack?
Cloudsack is gone, but the yeah, he's gone. He left you here. He left you here.
Mr. Cloudsack? Where?
And the gentleman with the water drinking the water out of his helmet that's covered with flowers. He stands up and just walks right up to you and looks you in the face and kind of smells you. And he just walks outside of the tent, walks right out. And you hear outside of the tent, you hear a woman's voice. You think it's a woman's voice. It's hard to tell. It's sort of deep, and it sounds like it's from a region you haven't heard before. And you hear, "Yeah, so if you're gonna be one of my men, you're gonna need to learn to throw that thing there. That's why you get 3 of them. don't throw the third. You just throw the first two, and then you make sure you stick the guy who's coming at you with the last one. That's a nice sword you got there too, or whatever the hell it is. All right, so this is where our tent is. You're gonna be in here. I got a couple of new recruits, and I got one a long timer, and we also have some rich fancy boy. We're supposed to be babysitting the whole time we're here. Number one thing is to keep him alive, and the doors, not the doors, but the tent sort of opens up here, and this woman wearing full plate armor walks in. She's having no trouble carrying it, unlike literally everyone else in this tent except for maybe Abel, who's old and ripped, but also he's pretty old. And she and
listen, I hope one day someone will describe me that way. Old, but ripped,
but pretty old. Yeah. It's like the guy in the airline magazine who's been taking HGH forever. The guy. It's like, this guy's been taking HGH, and also he's 75 years old. Sorry, don't take HGH. It's really bad for you. And behind him comes this kind of like super like mousy, tiny, like a little bit chubby elf or half elf. It's hard to tell, and he's barely holding his chainmail, and he's got these spears that are, they're 6 feet long. They're at least almost a foot taller than he is, and he sort of stumbles in through the door to the tent, and catches the spear end on one side, and he sort of tugs at it, and there's a little bit of a rip, and the woman reaches over and grabs the spear and says, what army did you say you used to fight for?
I was a part of the consulate for Neverwinter in Lakeshire. That's all I said. I'm looking for a paladin.
Yeah. So I just can't believe they're letting consul guards join the army now. Fighting's not like council garden. I don't know if you know that. This is hard work here. We're gonna see some serious action.
Okay, well, I suppose I will do my best to be ready.
That's all we can really hope for, unless you're protecting my back, in which case you better do a lot more than do your best. I want to see you do my best. You understand me?
I do. Yes, I do understand.
Very good. All right, you can take any bed you want. It's not already occupied. I gave the old man the bed because,
Because I'm old.
Yeah, because look at him. And she looks over at Jonas Silverwind, and she says, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my tent?"
Well, I'm Jonas Silhavind. I am the general of this army.
She kind of looks around like she's looking for Ashton Kutcher to jump out of the side of the tent or something and be like, "You just got baconed." And she looks around and she says, "Wait, who the hell are you again?"
My name is Jonas Silhavind of the Monte Silhavinds. I'm a noble of birth, and I've joined the military, and it is standard procedure when a noble joins the military, he gets men. He gets a generalship.
Who the hell told you you're gonna get your own men?
Well, I was talking to Mr. Waverly Cloudsickle, and he was telling me that I would have some men when I got here.
Cornbutt himself has been playing a mean trick on you. Let me tell you that. All right, listen. If he took you to this tent, he means for you to be in my unit. You understand what that? When you understand what that means?
Oh no! There's been a terrible misunderstanding. I'm leaving right now.
Yeah, did you sign a paper by any chance?
Of course I signed a paper, and I received my payment, and I will show it to you once I leave this tent and retrieve it.
Well, I tell you what there, General. What that means is that if you try to leave my tent when I tell you do not leave my tent, and I'm telling you right now, don't leave my tent, it means we get to kill you. Did you know that? You signed on for a whole season. That means you're going to go from the now into right here at the end of fall all the way through winter. Welcome. Welcome to Harkness, General.
And what exactly will I be doing?
Well, I mean, if I have anything to say about it, you're going to be out there killing blues.
Killing blues.
Sarge, this guy looks like a twig blew a bubble. I don't know if that's in the cards.
I assure you that if Waverly Cloudsack put him in my unit, he thought he could do a goddamn thing or two. Hey, he don't play jokes on me. He might play jokes on all of you, but he don't play jokes on me. He knows what happened. You play a joke on Despo Goodshire. You understand?
It does seem like everybody's getting off on the wrong foot here. We are on the same side, are we not?
What side are we talking about? I'm here at an army that looks like they barely do anything. I've met a few of you. They cut and run whenever trouble comes. I've come to whip everyone into shape.
All right there. This is real sweet. I'll tell you what. You pick a bed out. Looks like all the beds are taken because there's only one. You pick a cot, not a cot. What is that thing called? Hammock. You pick a hammock. You lay your pretty head there for the next 25 minutes, and we're gonna muster outside this tent, outside this fort. We have our first mission, gentlemen. I will tell you more about it in a few minutes, but let me tell you this. This is the one thing I love is we're gonna be hunting down deserters. I love hunting down deserters. And she walks out. And you're left with Kutch, Filnyr, Abel, and a very stunned Jonas Silverwind.
Oh my. It does seem like there's been quite a misunderstanding between you two. Did you come here under different pretenses than to join the army? Was it Jonas, you said?
Yes, someone with a modicum of intelligence. What is your name, lad?
My name is Filnyr. I worked for the consulate of Neverwinter in the town of Lakeshire.
Well, it is very nice to meet you. Very nice. My name is Jonas Silhavind of the Monter Silhavins.
Oh, yes, of course. I know Monter.
Yes.
I've heard of it.
Oh, fantastic.
They have a consulate in Lakeshire too, I believe.
Yes, we do, actually. We know Lakeshire very well.
It's quite an unusual city, it is. Anyway.
The new guy's I just learned this word this week too. Diplomatic. You're a very diplomatic young man.
Quite well said. That's a new word for you. You've used it perfectly.
Diplomatic times two there. Look at that.
And what is your name, sir?
My name's Abel. People have called me a bunch of other things, but mostly just Abel.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Abel.
Filnyr, I'd be careful of this one. He doesn't quite understand proper decorum. I walked in and he was naked when I walked in. He's not one of ours. If you
well, listen, I will tell you, I've been up on the mountain for a long time. I'm not gonna deny it. A lot of time to myself, a lot of time to get set in my ways. But I'm learning a lot, being back here among human society, and you know, I found that a good cheer and a willingness to learn and a real well-meant pleasure in seeing the face of another human being really papers over a lot of social graces.
I suppose that's true. Very well said, Abel. Do you
Diplomatic
happen to know...
times 3 for this kid. God dang. Look at you. I just pinch his cheek a little bit. You're just the best.
Oh, you are quite strong, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, kid, you don't look like you could put a spear in nothing, but there's really not much call for that around here. I think you're going to be a real asset to the group. And
it does sound like
you know a lot of words.
Well, yes, I suppose I'm
I
learning.
could just tell by the way you talk.
And you all notice now something that has changed in the room since you've been there. One, the room smells amazing, the inside of this tent. You smell some sweet, sticky something that you have not smelled before, Abel. And Jonas, you recognize this to be some super high quality grade A pastry smell. The other thing that you have noticed that has changed in the room is you all have a kind of general fear of screwing up. Just suddenly, it's a weird pall that has like gone over the room.
The stakes do seem quite high for stepping out of line.
Yes, that's right. And you've all signed up for this now. So, I mean, you're going to go with it, right?
Listen, I'm going to tell you, the Sarge, she's, she's tough, but her head and her heart's in the right place. She's a real firebrand. She's a real Holly Hunter type.
I really must say that I was not expecting any of this when I woke up this morning. And I find
ain't that the beauty of life?
It's not what I'd call it, but I find that I'm a little more than a little distressed. Abel, right? That's your name?
Yeah. Yes.
They don't expect us to wear what you're wearing, do they?
Well,
they did not make you pick out mail. They made me pick out mail.
They told me I was the general. The general.
Listen, it took me a while to catch up, but that is pretty funny.
It does sound like someone had a good prank on you, sir.
God, I will find this Waverly Cloudsicle, and I will find a way to prank this person. Mark my words.
Yeah, you sound like you're real good at pranks.
I can learn. I learn fast.
Now that I do believe. Good sir. So you're gonna have to wear your armor and your uniform there, and they like you to hold your spears straight up and down. But that's really kind of, it doesn't get too much more strenuous than that around here. Nobody's out for blood, if you take my meaning.
All right, I understand. Now, what is a spear?
Oh, it's that thing that did you see when I walked in the door? That stick that I was holding. It has a sharp blade.
The pointy stick.
Yes,
sure.
Yes, that is a spear.
That's a spear.
Yes,
You call that a spear?
Yes. Is there another word for it in Montana?
Well, no. I mean, I called it decoration. I have them on my bed.
Oh yes, of course, an ornamental spear.
Yes, I mean that's what I didn't think you actually used it for battle. I don't know. I just thought.
Credit to the service you two are. I can already tell.
Tom, how long did you say we had until we were supposed to be outside?
Yeah, it's time to start mustering. Kutchin.
That wasn't my intention. I had something else in mind, but it's time. All right.
No. Finish what you're doing. Kutchin comes in and says, 5 minutes, gentlemen. Muster in 5 minutes outside the walls. Welton's there. Cloudsack will be there.
If we got 5 minutes, I can get 3 minutes of sleep.
Yes, well, 5 minutes does not quite give me time to get out of this armor, unfortunately. All right, well.
Do you need some help with that? I can help you.
No, it'll still take too long.
But if we're gonna muster, they're gonna want you to have your armor on.
Yes, I know. It's just very heavy, and I feel very.
You're nothing but a little fella, ain't you?
Nobody has answered my question. Am I supposed to wear this stuff or not?
I think we all have to put it on.
I just look him dead in the eye. Yes.
Well,
I look him dead in his orbital sockets.
Right in his ocular nerve.
Right in his ocular nerve. And I say, yes.
Well, they just walked me through this place. I don't even know where to go.
Well, we can help you put it on if you'd like. And I also, if you like, I have these cream puffs that I've brought from Lakeshire. They're not going to stay good for very long. They go stale rather quickly.
Oh, but you know what? They do smell fantastic. I will take one. I love stress eating.
Oh, yes. Me too. I do enjoy a good nibble, so I'll hand one to each of them. And Kutch is still inside, or is Kutch back out?
Kutch is back outside, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll give them each one. And
diplomatic. You know what? I'm gonna quit keeping count, kid. You're in. In the end, boys. Is he in?
Thank you.
Everybody's like, he's in.
With my mouth, with my mouth full of one for myself. Thank you. Pardon me for eating while I'm speaking, but thank you. I appreciate it. These are a very special recipe from Neverwinter. I do hope that I get to bake them again. It is
Yes,
they come from
me
some
too,
rare
Filnyr.
ingredients. So.
Oh boy, this is
Listen,
delicious.
Despo's gonna talk a lot about spearing and stuff, but you've got the skills to make a success of yourself here. This is what you really need to get by in this army.
Well, thank you, sir. It seems like you're quite familiar with this army.
Oh yeah, I've been here. What? 3 days? 4 days? 4 days? Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, 4. Yeah, sure. Yeah. You're gonna ask me 4 days. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and that might not seem long in the grand scheme of things, but I'm pretty familiar with the war and business, and been a member of a fair number of armies myself, and I can tell you, I haven't been in this army very long, but I've seen the type.
Bring it in, fellas. Outside the gate now. And so Kutch calls to you, and you go out there, and there's a muster line of 10 men.
And we just line up like clockwork with perfect
Perfect discipline. You know what? I want to give... so I'm just going to assume... actually, this is for John, not Jonas.
Okay.
Here. Oh my God, I just got it. That your name is John, and your character is basically named Jonas.
Yep.
This is like going to keep things straight for you. And now it's going to keep things straight for me. I wish Abel was named Samus, and Filnyr was named Timnir. That would make things so much easier for me. Are you doing anything weird? Because you told me beforehand you were going to do something weird with the armor.
Well, let them give it to me.
Okay. All right. So you're going to go line up without the armor, yeah?
I line up without it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's 10 of you in a line. Despo Goodshower, you recognize her. She's out in front. Waverly Cloudsack is reading a scroll over to the side, over by Welton, the quartermaster's table. And they're just sort of joshing around with each other. Waverly has his two other retainers that are sort of always with him. And Kutch, who's usually with Waverly, is lining up with you guys. And the young man who has the flower helmet that he was drinking out of it and who walked past you, Jonas, he steps out from the line and says, "All right, inspection. It's not going to be too difficult for you guys. We just want you to be clean and safe out there. Shields, spears, armor on right." And he walks over to Abel and sort of turns him around, and he's about to tighten up a leather buckle, and he sort of steps back and says, "Nope, that's perfect. That's perfect." And Despo Goodshower gives you a nod. You're 100% her kind of man. And then she goes over to Filnyr, and Filnyr's having some trouble holding his spears. He does not have a shield. And the flower soldier, walks over to Welton and grabs a shield and hands it to you and says, "Okay, you feel these little buckles back here?
Yes.
This is where you mount your two spears that you're going to be carrying with you, and you're going to carry one in your right hand, and you're going to carry your shield in your left. And this little pack here," and he straps on a little pack on your side. He's like, "This has 3 days rations and 6 hours worth of water."
6
and
hours.
And what's that sword you're trying to keep under your armor? What is this thing?
Oh, yes. This is actually why I came to Fort Hapass. I'm supposed to see a paladin about this very item. It was, it is not a weapon that you would use on a spear so much as a relic.
Oh, well, you can't bring that with you. And he reaches down to grab it, and when he does, he locks eyes with you, and you see that his face turns into this like pale white, and he is just terrified of you, and he just lets go and he says, "Yeah, bring it. Just bring it wherever you want to go. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just bring it wherever you want to go." And
it won't be a bother to anyone.
And he goes, and he goes back in the line and sort of sits there, and he's clearly got his eyes down and like not trying to look at you. And he walked right past Jonas Silverwind, and Despo sort of looks at this guy, and his name is Willem, who's the flower soldier, and she says, "Willem, check them all. These are our men." And Willem says, ma'am, they're all just fine, ma'am. They're fine. I think we should just go." And Despo looks right at Jonas, and she walks over to you, and she says, "This one's not fine at all. This one's got some big troubles. Now, what part of put on the uniform didn't you understand, maggot?"
I first of all, maggot is very unfriendly. I don't.
Do you know what a maggot is? Do you know?
Of course, I know what it is. It has to do with flies. It's flies.
Did you know that an army of maggots could eat this whole goddamn fort up in 2 hours flat? When I say maggot, I mean it as a compliment. Now go and get your armor on, boy.
All right, I don't know where to get it. They walked me here. They told me I was going to be a general. They played some kind of joke. I don't know anything.
Welton walks up behind you and just drops it down and says, "You left us here before you went to your store. You're welcome."
So Jonas goes down and he starts putting things on. He has a very hard time. He's like, he starts donning the armor. He puts on the chainmail, and then he bends.
Listen, Despo, the boy looks like somebody put a blueberry on the end of a toothpick. Is this really fair?
He keeps going. He picks up a spear, and the minute he picks up that shield, he goes down. Just blah. It just can't get up.
Abel, I see what you're saying here. Does anybody have one of those potions of giant strength somewhere back there? Someone bring over that potion of giant strength here.
Listen, none of this would be necessary. Can someone remove this shield, please? I can't breathe.
Yeah. Cloudsack walks over and whispers something to Despo, and she says, I don't want that. And he just sort of shrugs at her and says something else to her, and he walks away, and he looks at you and winks, and Despo comes over and takes her knife and just starts to cut the leather off of the armor that you've donned. And she takes the shield and she drops it down on the ground, and she says she looks around and says, well, fellas, looks like we got one of them fire starters here. So Abel, you seem to be real fond of this little blueberry on a toothpick, you called him. He's going to be standing next to you all the time, and his survival is your choice. And she looks over at you, Jonas, and she says, I do not like fire. If you shoot one of your fireballs or blazer glory or ice mask or quicksilver honeysuckle at me, I will spear you myself. And I mean spear, not spare.
Well, I just recently learned what a spear is used for, and I find it...
Abel, get him off the ground. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
If I may...
All right.
Discretion is the better part of valor sometimes, son. You may just want to... You've got what some might call a limited victory here. I say
Well,
leave it
I
at
would
that.
at least like to make her happier. What if I don't wear the armor and
I don't know that that's possible.
It may not be, but I could if it would make her happier. All I have to do is cast a minor illusion on myself, and it looks like I'm wearing the armor. So I do that. I just kind of wave my fingers a little bit, and the armor just starts to come onto my body, and then I jump and step. And maybe this will help. I don't. I would really love it if she wasn't yelling at me anymore. So
What do you think, Sarge? You like him better now?
She's gonna roll here.
Wait, is it a performance check?
No, he's not gonna roll. She's gonna roll an investigation check. Yeah. I don't see it, but if you say it's all right, Abel, you've earned a little bit of good licks on me. So yeah, sure, keep him safe.
Listen, I didn't expect this would be my catchphrase. I've had such occasion to use it so much so early in this day. But, well, goody for me.
All right, so they have you sort of walk out past the fort. You guys are sort of marching in line, and then Despo waves her hand, and half the line turns and goes south, and you guys start heading north. And when you get up to the clearing, that's sort of near Fort Pas, excuse me, she says, "All right, Willem, give him the rundown here." And Willem takes out of his bag a sort of a vellum piece of parchment, and he sort of rolls it out on the ground, and it's a map of the Breen area, and you see in the middle is a tower that says Adaran Tower. There's the disputed territory line that goes through the mountain area, and you see that there are question marks to the north and to the south. And Willem says, yeah, we're missing like 100 men. And when we heard that there was some kind of slaver activity, at first we thought that because first one search team went missing, and another one, and then 5 days ago 25 men just walked out in the night. So yeah, we're just on a recon mission here.
Also, I met them slavers and told you there was slavers.
That was you, Abel. But we knew about the slavers before then. We just didn't think that this 100 men. This is too many. We don't think this is the work of slavers.
That's a lot for slavers.
Yeah. So we're gonna head up north. We're gonna head to the foot of the Breen Mountains, right over here on Red Cloud Mountain, which is the first the mountain range that goes to the north. We're gonna make a circle about 10 miles up north, and then we're gonna head on back if we don't find anything. Get your marching boots on, and be ready for anything, guys.
What's the weather like?
The weather is sunny and 48 degrees.
Oh, boys, it's a beautiful day for it. Let's take a stroll around the line here.
All right. So
how long did they say we were walking?
It's 10 miles out and 10 miles back. So you're out for a 20 mile hike today. So Despo starts off up front, and you just cannot, none of you really, I mean, she's wearing massively heavy full plate armor, and she is moving like a gazelle around. You get into the pretty near the trees, and she sort of waves for Willem Searchlight to move ahead, and he takes his flower helmet off, and he hands it to Jonas, and he puts a cloak over his armor, and also hands Jonas his spear, and he pulls out a short sword, and then he pulls off the second spear and his third spear, and he hands all those to Jonas also. and he says, okay, you listen here, you guys. If anything comes down this hill without me, you stab it, okay?
Wait, what are you about to do?
Loud and clear.
And
Don't worry.
No, what's going on? What's happening?
Look, General, take a breath. We never have to stab anything. It's okay.
You know what? I am still going to cast Mage Armor. So I cast Mage Armor.
Okay. And when you guys have noticed that as he's been walking, also he's been having to constantly recast his minor illusion that makes him look like he's got armor on. So he's walking, and sometimes it looks great, and sometimes it doesn't look great, and then it just like flickers out.
It's like a video game. He's like clipping through it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's glitching. He's glitching like in Sugar Rush. All the dads who've seen Ralph Breaks the Internet know what I'm talking about on this one. He's glitching out.
I think it's important to let people know right now just exactly the kind of pop culture references that they're in for with this podcast.
We watch a lot of kids movies.
A lot of kids movies.
And 80s fantasy. I mean, I'm gonna go deep into Lady Hawk lore during this. And at some point, you guys will probably have to be walking around a dead Waverly Cloud Sack for everyone to have a weekend, so that they don't close the fort down, and you get to have your fun for the weekend.
Weekend at Waverly
with Waverly. Yeah, weekend at Waverly Cloud Sacks. Willem Searchlight, he puts this cloak over his head, and the cloak is not like an invisibility cloak, but as soon as he does this, he sort of takes on a slightly different aspect, and he's like sneaky around. He sort of makes his way behind a tree. Abel, you have seen someone do this exact same kind of thing very recently with some dwarves that helped you kill the two Durgers, and Willem just sort of disappears.
I'll tell you. Guys, I've seen this before. He'll be back. There was a dwarf. I was mentioning those slavers before. We ran into a couple of them up on the mountain, and boy, they're these little guys, and then they become big guys. It's not like anything you ever seen.
Are they all white?
Yes, actually. Wow, you do know a thing or two, don't you, General?
I ran into one very recently.
Not real pleasant, are they?
No, they are ghastly. They're terrible. I hate them.
Well, do sound scary.
I mean, I said we never have to stab anything. Take that with a grain of salt. I've been here for 4 days.
All right, so Despo walks over to each one of you and inspects your spear and throws all of Searchlight's stuff down on the ground, Jonas. So she gives you your spear and says, what I want you to do is down here at the bottom of the hill, I want you to cut yourself a little hole in the ground and put that spear in there, in the butt of the spear, to make sure that when something comes and runs into you, if you do happen to spear him, that he's not going to knock you off your feet. Your spear's not going to get knocked out of your hands. I want you to be able to just use the ground for leverage and let him go on there. We're gonna make ourselves a spear wall. And so she shows you how to dig a hole just in case, and she tells you this is really good for horses. And this is the first time you've heard of horses, and I mean that horses might be involved. And she says, the 25 men who disappeared just the other day, that was the entirety of our cavalry. So I'm not going to say that's what's going to happen here today, but just in case, this is how you make a spear wall.
Dear Lord, well, thank you for showing me. You do care.
I do care.
You're warming up to me.
Just make a spear. Just make a spear wall, and she sort of inspects you guys, and she's like, now what I want you to do, I want you to look left and right, and I want you to imagine there's like 100 men on either side of you, and that's a proper spear wall.
I look left and right. I'm not
on your-
impressed.
No, you should not be. About 25 minutes go by, and Despo is starting to get a little bit worried, and she sort of looks you guys over, and you can tell she has a little bit of desperation in her face, and she says, "All right, if I had to choose one of you, which one of you think you could climb this here hill, and not, I don't want you looking for him, but you just be able to take a look out and see what's on the top of this hill and see if one of them's up there dead."
I'd be willing to give it a try if that would be helpful.
Oh, look at this kid.
It might be a little difficult in this armor, however. But I don't suppose we have
You two,
any other options.
you want to take off your armor too?
If there was a more suitable option for a man of my stature, that would be very much appreciated.
All right, well, you can take it off if you want to. But I don't got anything else for you.
Sarge, I'd go with him, but you already know I ain't got no creep to me.
How about you, Blueberry?
I have actually grown quite fond of this young one. I would like to back him up if I could.
All right, then. Blueberry and Cream Puff, I want you two to head up the mountain here. And Abel, you stay down here with me just in case we got to make a run for it, and let the folks back at the fort know what's going on over here.
Yeah, I don't like it, but yeah, okay.
All right, so you guys, you going to doff your armor?
Yeah, so Filnyr's going to doff the pants first.
Yeah.
What? You got to take them off in pieces.
Is there a reason?
Well, I feel like he's going to take the pants off and he's going to feel like he can actually walk. Doesn't that just turn it into a chain shirt?
Okay, I tell you what. I'm gonna give it to you. You can take the pants off, and that's gonna change it into a chain shirt.
Well, if it turns it into a chain shirt, I can wear it.
Is it
proficiency?
Is a chain shirt light armor? Or is that a medium armor?
Medium.
It's medium armor.
Okay, but here's the deal: you can't wear any other pants. so
To turn it into a chain dress.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably
And
a long
listen, I
shirt, so
feel-
it's probably like a shirt and a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like there are certainly technical names for all of these pieces of armor that we will hear about when people listen to this.
No, well, I mean, I will tell you, chainmail does have basically a chain shirt on top of heavily padded leather and sort of banded sort of padding on the inside. So you could take off the banded padding leather and just put the chain links, right on top of you, and we'll give you the same AC and all your stats as though it was a chain shirt.
Boy, I really feel like this armor was going to be a real disadvantage to you sneaking. But now that you've taken off all these other pieces, I feel like maybe you don't have that disadvantage anymore.
No, I feel like I'm quite a bit less noisy when I walk around. Don't you hear? I also really have to stand behind a tree and relieve myself for a moment. We have walked quite a ways.
Yes, we have.
So I'll duck behind a tree real quick.
Okay. So
Okay,
you
come
hear
back. That's so much better.
Wait. While you're pissing, I just want to let you know you do hear something while you're pissing. You hear Filnyr? Why have you left the fort?
In order to get to Fort Hapas, I had to join the army. So now I'm part of the army, and there was no paladin to be found.
As long as you are to the fort tomorrow, you will be okay.
Okay, yes, we are planning to come back.
The paladin will arrive tomorrow.
How do you know?
I know. I am a man who knows. Tomorrow he will arrive.
You were locked in a case for, what did you say, 89, 79 years, some many, many years, and all of a sudden you know about tomorrow?
I know about tomorrow, and I know about yesterday, and I know about today. Yes.
Okay.
But
I take you at your word.
I want to give you something to help you. And
What is that?
What spells are you going to have for your warlock?
So he's got obviously his Hexblade's Curse ability and his Hex Warrior ability, which I haven't actually imbued on a spear yet. I've got Hex and the Shield spell. Mm-hmm. And then the cantrips I took are Eldritch Blast and Toll the Dead.
Okay. So he says to you, I need to see you make some kind of gesture to me. I need you to sing a little song when you get to the top of the hill. And I need you to tell all of your comrades that you are the man of Pereso and Competent.
At the top of the hill.
When you arrive at the top of the hill, yes, you will sing a song to me, and you will announce to your friends, your comrades, at the bottom of the hill, that you are the man of Pereso and Competent.
Boy, you better not be taking a shit back there.
No, I'm coming. I'm quite finished. And then to Pereso, I'd say, as you wish.
All right. So you guys gonna head up the hill?
Can I say that while he was doing that, I took my time to do a ritual and call my good friend.
Tell us about your good friend.
So
I didn't pee for 10 minutes.
but you were also doffing pants and all this stuff. I got bored.
That's true.
That's true. So while he's doing that, I hold my hands out and I start kind of talking to myself. And then all of a sudden, there's some sparks in front of me, and then it turns into a swirl of smoke that kind of swirls around in a spiral, and then it grows fur and turns into the fiercest mongoose you've ever seen in your life. So he pops up in front of me.
That's fiercest mongoose I've seen in my life. There's not a lot of competition. Not a lot of competition for that award.
As I'm walking back, I see this beast in front of Jonas and immediately fumble for my spear and kind of start pointing at it, but not in any skilled way. So, Jonas, watch out! There's a creature in front of you.
No! Don't worry. This is my familiar. This is Saber, my mongoose, and he is the best. Aren't you, little Saber? Then I reach my hands down. He's just he's kind of nibbling on my fingers. Oh yes, you are the best little killer. Aren't you? Ow. Okay, all right.
Are you quite sure he won't hurt you?
It's fine. We've been together a very long time, and it's just fine. This is my pet, my friend.
Does he want some num-nums?
He loves num-nums. Feel free to give him whatever you like. Mostly meat.
I pull some extra rations and I sort of sprinkle them. I hold my hand out like I'm gonna feed it from my hand, and then at the last second I lose my nerve and I just drop it on the ground.
He goes right for the rations, eats them right up.
Well, ain't that cute?
Well, I sure wish that darned monkey there could carry a spear. He seems like he'd be one of the best warriors we got in this outfit.
Oh, ha. Very funny. But trust me, you are not wrong. He is quite formidable. And I feel that we will need him when we are going to look over this mountain.
All right. So you guys are going to head up. I need to get some stealth checks from you.
Stealth.
Give me a stealth check, and I want you to give me a perception check at the same time.
Okay. Here's my stealth.
Are we?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
16.
And
nice.
I rolled a 20. Not a natural.
Yeah.
Nice.
And my perception is 10.
Okay.
And that's a natural 1.
Okay. So as you start to look around, Jonas, you hear from the back of your mind somewhere, you hear the sound of a Frenchman. And he says, "You call that listening? I'll show you listening."
Got to.
And he's totally quiet. And you take 3 damage, and your next attack roll, you have disadvantage.
Oh my God! What just happened? Are you kidding me?
So you rolled a natural 1 for something, and when you have a critical miss, and Tim's and Filnyr's sword is near you to see you, he casts a spell called Vicious Mockery at anyone who has a critical miss.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I will say,
but it doesn't
3
matter
hit
who.
points
Whose
is a
team is he
lot
on?
at this level.
That's a lot right now.
Fellers, I know. I'm not the one. I'm not the one who rolled a 1.
Listen, guys, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I don't like it either.
Yeah, the rules are the rules. I mean, I'm just reading this out of the notebook that I have in front of me.
Of
it says it
handwritten notes.
Here. Yeah. And the vicious mock, John, came right from Filnyr.
Like, from his mouth?
No, I mean, it sounded like just from his person. I mean, he's walking behind you.
It sounded like a real cartoonish Frenchman.
Filnyr, what was that? What did you just do to me?
I did not do anything. I did hear.
No. You started talking like you're from somewhere else, and now I feel funny.
Oh, you could hear him. I
Him?
heard him say, "Listen," but I did not understand what he was talking about.
What are you talking about, sir?
Yes, well, we are alone here, right? Just the two of us.
Yeah, you guys are like walking
Yeah.
and perceiving and
trying to
not
stealth.
very well,
Right.
and trying to stealth and having a conversation. Yeah, this is good.
Our stealth is good. Our conversation, not so much. I will quietly be. Well, you may understand something about magical items. This blade. I don't know if you saw. They tried to take it earlier. It is. It holds a link to a person or the soul of a person. I'm not quite sure, but it is conscious, and it speaks in that funny voice, and it sometimes casts spells. It saved my life, and now I owe it a debt, and in return, we have made a deal where I'm going to help it get what it wants, and it is going to help me become powerful, and use magic, which I've never been able to do.
You've made a deal with a talking magical sword.
I owe it my life. I guess you had to be there. I know it sounds crazy. I'm sorry, but I have. That is the truth.
I will tell you this. I would think you were absolutely insane if I didn't experience it for myself. Let me warn you that things of this nature are very dangerous.
I understand. However, I think it is going to help me, and hopefully I can help you as well.
Well, at the moment, it is not helping me. Can you keep it off me?
In fact, I think I can. Yes, for a time. Yeah, and I'll take an emerald that's in one pocket and kind of move it to the other pocket so it's right next to the blade.
No. And he's quiet. All right, so you guys make your way to the top of this hill, and when you get up top, you see about 8 men, and they are questioning Willem Searchlight. they've captured him. He's got some blood on his face, and they have manticles on him, holding his
Manticles?
Yeah, manticles.
Madrigals? Magic dolls? Insert any word here.
Yes, they've got an iron, some iron clinks that they're holding him in.
Put him in the
Ball
clink.
and chain.
Yeah, the old ball, and it's just a chain and clink, and and they all are wearing some version of the armor that you have both recently taken off, and you can't really hear what they're saying, but there's 8 of them, and he's kind of screwed up.
Are they
can I send
actively-
Saber?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Can I send Saber in to go listen closer?
Sure. Yeah.
What are we going to say, Tim?
Saber. Sorry, but before you do, does Saber have his own sneaking skill? Do you? Because if not, you can just roll his dexterity.
I mean, he's just he sneaks like a mongoose. I'll just roll it. Yeah, I'll just roll his dex. He's just they might not notice the mongoose crawling around the grass.
Yep. Okay. And then Tim, what were you saying?
I was going to ask what they're actively doing to them, if they're talking or if they're
questioning him. It's clearly it's an interrogation.
Okay.
And one of the guys who's there, you actually recognize that he is. Do you just remind me what spells, what cantrips you have?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I have Eldritch Blast and Toll the Dead.
Okay, and how about you, John?
Doubling
What's your
down on the
cantrips?
damage.
I get 2 extra ones with the Magic Initiate feat. So I've got Firebolt, Mage Hand, Ray of Frost, Minor Illusion, and Shocking Grasp.
Okay, so these guys are actually casting friends on him. I'll say you probably recognize this. They just keep casting friends on him, and he keeps becoming like every minute or so he starts like getting enraged, and then they do it again, and he sort of calms down. And when Saber gets close to these guys, you hear that he is saying, I've got 4 friends down the hill. We were here to bring you guys back. We were trying to figure out what happened. Waverly Cloudsack is all upset because the Adaran forces have enlisted a bunch of mercenaries, and he has intelligence that they're going to start actively attacking the fort, and so we were trying to bring back any people who left, who maybe were just out on a bender. We were hoping you guys were just out on a bender and you would come back and help us defend the fort because it's going to fall. And the main guy who's questioning him, he just keeps nodding, again and again. He says, yes. Well, and he looks over at at the guy who's casting the Friends spell. And for anyone who's listening, Friends is this weird spell where it makes you more pliable to questioning and suggestion. But at the end of a minute, you get that you have had a magic charm cast on you, and you get very pissed off at the person who's casting it, and that's what's happening here. So so he looks up and says, "Okay, well, I guess." We kill him now? Is that what we do? Is that what we're doing now? We're killing now? Killing our own guys. And someone says, he's not our own guy. Look, if we're doing this, we're not in there anymore. We're not a part of this. And the main interrogator, you can tell he's like really not into this. But he says, okay, what's the best way to do it? Someone says just stick him in the stomach, and then there's a big argument about what's the kindest way to kill the prisoner, and finally a rather large dude comes up and he says, "Well, I have my sword, and I've actually taken a man's head before, so let me find a rock and do my best to sharpen it up as best I can." And so they all agree this is a good idea, and they start sharpening. He starts sharpening his sword.
What do you want to do, Jonas? Should we ask for help?
You go back down and talk to Abel. Tell him that they are about to kill our man.
Okay.
How far away are they, Tom?
They're about 70 feet away from you where you are now, but Saber is like all up in him. Like he's like going around. Do the noise again. So he's like walking around the group and just collecting intel for you, and they're totally ignoring him.
Okay, all right, and he can do my spell. He can do my spells if I send it to him mentally, or do I have to touch him first?
Only touch spells. You can cast touch spells through him as though he cast them.
Okay, all right.
On your turn, so he uses his reaction to cast a spell that's a touch spell.
Okay, I got you.
So before I go down the hill, I think
Is that right? That sounded really good.
That's correct. That's correct.
I don't mean like the spell sounded really good. I mean, you sounded like you really knew what you were talking about.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you something. I have played 3 characters. No, actually only one character in 5e, and I am building my entire character concept of a bard in order to get an empowered familiar. So I am so
It's all about
like
familiars. He knows.
Yeah, I am gimping my character in all other ways so I can eventually find my way to a familiar, so to speak.
Well, back to the situation at hand. I will start walking down and then whisper to Jonas, do you have some way to distract them and buy some time so we have time to get back up the hill? It is a bit of a climb after all.
I have a few spells at my disposal that may help, and I have Saber there.
How far down the hill are we?
You guys are maybe it's not far, 200 feet, 250.
I thought you said 70.
That's 70 sleep to the guys.
70
From you to the enemy.
Okay, I was the wrong way.
How far to hell?
So my question is, if I cast, how many people are there?
8
people
that you see.
All right, I was
that
thinking.
You see,
right,
Mr. Perceptor.
Yeah, I know, right, Mr. Natty One Perceptor. I was wondering. For the guys that have him, I was wondering if I could focus on the spellcaster, and if I cast sleep on him and a couple of guys, maybe our guy can get away.
That's a very interesting idea.
And it's the range is 90 feet on sleep.
Yeah. Now you don't control where it hits. It's not an evocation spell, right? You're not officially an evoker yet, are you?
Not officially. No.
Okay. So,
but you get to set like ground zero.
Yeah, you can set ground zero. So basically, if you target the sleep spell, everyone who's in the radius of the sleep spell, 20 feet, I think. We take the lowest hit points first, and you roll. What is it that you roll? Sorry, is it 5d6 or something?
5d8.
5d8. So whatever comes up on 5 8-sided dice, all added up together, that's the total number of hit points, and it knocks out that number of hit points from the lowest to the highest.
Okay, so Filnyr will run down and talk to Abel, and then I will cast sleep on I will focus on the guy who's casting friends, and then cast sleep.
Okay.
And with the 5d8s, that'll be a 21.
Okay. So, so you see that the excuse me, the sort of leader of the group stands up at that moment, and the guy who's been casting these spells stands up, and the 5 guys who are sitting there with them, 3 of them immediately fall down asleep, and the guy who's sharpening his sword is fine, and the caster is fine, and the sort of captain guy is fine, and the captain is looking around. He's like, "What the hell is going on?" And he goes and he slaps the face of one of the guys who was asleep, and he wakes right up, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? What happened to you there?" He's like, "I don't know. I just feel dead tired." All right, and we're back down the hill. So Filnyr, you're there.
So I'm running. I get to Abel. Abel, we need help. Let's gather everybody who's with us, and we need to go to the top of the hill. They have our men. Then there's more of them than there are of us, but we need to go help.
Yeah, kid, how many men? What weapons were they carrying? Did they look like our soldiers? Give me the bullet.
I think they were defectors. I think they are the men we were looking for.
Faster would be better. How many men?
Eight.
Okay,
8 of them.
Great. What kind of weaponry? Did they have all of their Harkness
Someone
armor?
had a sword, and he's going to behead the man that we're looking for. We need to go now.
Jesus. All right,
Who else is there at the bottom?
Just
Despo?
me, just Despo, and my main man Abel.
Oh, I thought for some reason I thought we had more people with us.
Me too.
No,
I thought we were part of a troop.
There's literally just 5 of us. Five of us went north, and 5 of us went south.
Okay.
Despo,
Ma'am, we need to go to the top of the hill. We need your help immediately.
You can talk to these boys. I'm sure they don't want to be killing anybody either.
Well, let's go do it. I'm just gonna go up there as fast as I can. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll run.
All right. So John.
Clink, clank,
Yeah.
clink, clank.
So John, you
advantage on stealth.
yeah, you hear at least 3 people, but maybe many more by the sound of it, running up the hill, and so do the guys who are in the camp, and we're gonna go ahead and be an initiative right now. So everybody roll initiative. I'm gonna bring up the. All right, so we're in initiative now. Tell me what you got.
I got a 9. I got a -1. Awesome.
Mine's a 12.
Ugh.
I rolled a 21.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh.
Oh man, okay, it's good. Well, you guys are in luck. All of the enemies are acting after you. We got a 6 for the sort of bosses of this group here, the 3 guys, and we got a 5 for all their mooks. All right, so
Did you say mooks?
yeah, I did. A descriptor, not a last name, though. This is not. They're not related to Larray and Garay. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Should I roll for Saber?
Oh yeah, definitely roll for Saber.
All right, let me do that. Oh, sorry.
That token is everything I hoped it would be.
Okay.
Oh man, and he gets
20.
a 20.
Yes.
Oh, my.
I think if we post that picture, we're gonna have to source it or something. But that is the angriest goddamn mongoose I've ever seen in my life.
That is amazing. All right, so at this moment,
how far am I?
So you are running a little faster than these guys behind you. You are about 10 feet away from Jonas. Jonas is 70 feet away from the bad guys, and they are aware, except 3 of them now. Oh, guys, I thought that those mooks all had 7 hit points. They actually all have 4, so they were all out. And we'll just say that only one of them woke up.
All right.
All right.
So, Filnyr, you're up first.
Okay, so I'm about 80 feet from them.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 of them asleep. That's pretty far. Let's see what the range is on. Okay, so I can't do that yet. All right, so at this range, I will, since I knew who was casting before, I will look at the one who was casting. Do I have a good line of sight on the one who's sharpening his sword?
If you move up the hill and you
Right.
get to Jonas, you'll have 70 feet. Is that what you're doing? You're going to be moving here,
Well, my speed is 30.
right?
So I feel like I can move. I'm just trying to find, an angle where I can see the one who's
Sharpening
his sword.
Yep.
And no one has actually done anything yet. They've talked about killing a guy.
Right, that's true. Yeah, I think I might run up and sort of do what we're supposed to do as soldiers, which is wait for Despo to give us an order.
That's
So,
great. Yeah.
I will. Is there a tree or something that I can kind of get near and sort of tuck in behind?
Yeah, there's one
some
about
cover.
There's one about 60 feet away from these guys. You can cross in front of Jonas and head over to the tree. It's sort of it's in the clearing though, so you have to sort of run through the clearing a little bit. So they're going to see you for sure until you get to the tree.
Well, they've already heard us, right?
They've heard you. Then they know
Yeah.
someone's coming. Yeah.
Right. So I will run to the tree, and I will hold my action, but I'm gonna I'll ready an Eldritch Blast
Okay.
at the guy with the longsword, and if he goes to pick it up, that will be my cue.
Okay, so he has it in his hand right now. He's sharpening it with a rock.
Right. I mean, if like he puts the rock down, like he goes to pull it out for battle, like he's
Okay.
gonna fight us.
Okay. All right. All right, Saber.
Okay, so
You gotta do the noise. You gotta do the noise first.
so Saber runs over to the one that was casting friends.
Uh-huh.
And you said that I have to can Saber shock and grasp that person?
He will have to wait until he will. Now, I will tell you the answer is yes, but he has to wait until your turn, and he does it as a reaction on your turn.
On my turn.
So the answer is yes, and
Okay.
you are going next, so it's totally fine. But he won't be able to move away,
I got you.
right?
I got you. Yeah.
Because he will have already used his movement and his action. Now I guess you could ready an action.
I'm gonna put.
Once I've shocking grasped this guy, I'm gonna run.
Okay. All right. Wow. I'm gonna put Saber in position near. He's
Okay.
gonna run over near the guy casting friends.
Okay, so he assumes the position.
And then I see Filnyr go hide, and I see Despo coming up, and I when does Despo go? Despo doesn't go.
Despo's gonna go. Oh, yes, Despo got an 8.
Okay, all right.
Despo goes after
Okay.
Abel.
So I feel like I've done my part, and I wait on further instruction.
Okay.
How far
All right,
away
Abel.
am I from these guys?
So you are right at 80 feet away. You can't see them yet. You're still running up the hill.
All right. I'm gonna take a full dash
Okay.
action up. And do I recognize these guys? Are these guys I know from the camp, or how long have they been gone?
No, they left 5 days ago. You've been there for 3 or 4 days, so they left before you. The whole time you've been there, the camp has seemed kind of empty. So these are guys who left before you got there.
All right, so I'm gonna run my full 60 up some 20 feet away. I'm gonna
Okay.
ready an attack if anybody comes close to me.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh
do
no,
that.
I
You
can't
do
because
that
my dash. I took my
you're
full dash.
dashing.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
gonna take my full
Yeah.
dash, and I'm gonna say,
Fellas, it's put down your weapons. Nobody's gonna get hurt. This is we just want to talk. There's no need for violence here. Nobody in this army wants to fight. Believe me.
Okay. So So that's Despo then. So you're able. You're gonna just be. Just standing there now.
I'm in the middle of the field, closer to these guys than anybody else.
Yeah, and the guy yells back at you, and he says, this is the interviewer, the interrogator, and he says, "Well, someone just slept all our people here. We know what a sleep spell looks like. Why are you're starting this with us? You are starting this with us."
You're talking about killing Willem. You guys know Willem. He's a nice guy, and sleeping is not the worst thing you've had to do in this army. Give me a break.
Willem just knifed Doug over there in the forest.
Willem, did you knife Doug?
Yeah, I knifed him.
How's he doing? Is he okay?
He's dead. He killed Doug.
Willem, did you kill Doug? Now we're outside of what can be
we're
done
out,
in a
we're
turn here.
Yeah, we're doing that's and the 6-second conversation is over. So the battlefield now is Filnyr is behind a tree, Ionis is out in the open, and he is just standing there, but his mongoose is close to a guy. And then you hear the clanking of plate mail, and you hear Despo Goodshower say, "Unleash the hell from your spears, boys!" And you see a spear like curve up, make it over Ionis's head, and it is going to it's going to slam into the man who was casting the spells, and it is going to do 4 damage to this guy, and it's on like Mario Brothers.
God damn it.
All right. So the main guy is the first to act. He's the one that you were talking to, the interrogator, and he charges at you and swipes at you with a scimitar.
When he gets close to me, I'm going to take my opportunity attack as a polearm master.
Ooh, all right, do it.
Nice.
And tell us about this polearm master thing. What is it? What is this?
This is the feat I took at level 1. If I am two-handing the polearm, I can use a bonus action to take an attack with the butt end of the spear. But more importantly to this scenario, whenever anyone enters my range as a reaction, I can make an opportunity attack on them.
That's awesome. Okay.
So that's a 14 to hit.
The 14 is going to hit.
Nice.
That's 9 piercing damage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's not dead, but he is not doing great.
Don't do that at me, okay?
Right?
All right. Yeah,
I told you.
So the guy who was on the ground sharpening his sword, he stands up with his sword in his hand.
Did he drop his rock?
He definitely dropped his rock.
All right, then I will. I will. My.
Did he drop it like it's hot?
I'll roll for my Eldritch Blast. It's a 20.
That is gonna hit. That's gonna hit.
And it does 2 damage. Solid hit, not solid damage.
That's all right. That's good. That's good.
Better than I expected, Cream Puff. You're a real credit to this unit.
And the guy who was casting spells, he runs the opposite direction about 15 feet, and he whispers something in his hands, and he brings them together in a super, like, massively loud, like, thunderclap comes out of his hands, and all the people who were on the ground asleep have woken up.
Damn it.
So as much as I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, I will say the guy with the scimitar still does get to attack me.
Yeah, you
thank
also
God.
didn't.
Thank
you
you.
didn't
for
also
the
didn't do
rolls.
the action of the guy that I Eldritch Blast. He just got hit, and then he
Okay,
didn't do the rest of his turn.
thank you guys so much for being. You guys are really stand-up gentlemen.
We like
And
to
what
play
about-
fair.
Honest, guys.
and
I think
what
we're
about,
losing here, guys. Let's
Jonas's
priorities.
shocking grasp is going to come into effect here soon, I'm sure.
Well, except he didn't actually ready it. He
I
just
did
said-
too. I said he was there and I readied it.
Okay,
That's what I said.
We'll go back to the tape.
Check
We'll check
the
the tape. Check the tape. Yeah, sure. So I will allow a shocking grasp, but once this guy batters Abel, so he rolled a 14. What's your AC?
18.
Oh man, so that's gonna be a
Not
that's
even
gonna be a
close.
miss.
I deflect it with my shield and say,
Damn it, man. This isn't getting us anywhere.
All right, so send Ricky Tikki Tabby here to shock and grasp this guy.
Okay, and so you said I have to do that on Jonas's turn. He's just
well, you readied the action, right?
Well,
I readied the action. So.
I mean, it's gonna be really confusing to our listeners because they're just gonna hear you say, "And I stood there," and then you're gonna ready the action. But I think we should allow it. Let's allow it,
Okay,
fellas.
all right.
Can I allow
We'll go
it?
back and we'll cut it in.
Yeah.
What is
Through the magic of editing, it was there. It was there the whole time.
what was the
You'll
trigger
never know.
for your readied shocking grasp?
Are you talking about the sound?
Yeah.
So when you ready an action, you have to say, "I'm going to do this when something happens."
Yes. So I readied the shocking grasp for when the guy was going to make a spell.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
For when the guy was going to cast a spell.
That's like my kid
For the
talking
podcast,
about
I'm
potty
winking.
training. He's like, when he goes to make a spell.
Yeah. He's gonna go do something creative in there. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna allow it, but only if we cut it in and it's clearly audio from some other episode. Get it. Shocking grass. This guy. This is the guy. This is the guy who that's gonna hit. This is the guy who Filnyr just hit with the Eldritch Blast.
You rolled.
I rolled a 22 on that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Give me the damage.
There we go. Damage will be 4 lightning.
Awesome.
So I think what we've learned is we're only allowed to have one person ready one action per round. Otherwise, we can't keep track of it. Because we've had
We
to
can get better.
retroactively do like 3 different things now.
Okay, so all of these little mooks on the ground
Wake up.
Are waking up. They're going to have a turn where they are sort of collecting themselves, but they have all woken up, and next turn they will be charging you in all likelihood. All right, Filnyr.
Spoiler alert.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Filnyr or is it Jonas?
It's
If we're back at the top, it's me.
Got it.
So there's one in front of Abel, right? Is
Yep,
he the
there's
closest
one
one to me?
No, actually, the one who you blasted, Eldritch blasted, is the one closest to you.
Okay, and how far is he from me?
30 feet.
He's about 30 feet. And is there anyone else around him? Or would I have to go past anybody to get to him?
You could get to him without having to go past anybody. Yeah.
Okay, so then I will...
The mooks are
I'm
closer
supposed
to the
to
other
use
guy.
the spear. I will try to use the spear, and I will get closer to him. And I'll move the 30 feet towards him. And as a bonus action, I will put Hexblade's Curse on him.
Oh, tell me about that.
So Hexblade's Curse is I put a Baleful Curse on someone as a bonus action. I choose one creature I can see within 30 feet of me. He's cursed for 1 minute. The curse ends if the target dies, if I die, or if I'm incapacitated. And I get the following benefits. I gain bonus damage to attack roll damage, and I get also crits on a 19 or 20.
Nice.
I'm glad it's a
and then I also get some.
curse. That's my favorite
Yeah,
kind of curse.
yeah.
It's a good adjective. And then I also get health back if he dies while he's cursed.
Okay. All right.
If I need it. And then I'm as a hex warrior, my spear will be in my hand and will now use my charisma modifier instead of strength for my attack. So I'll go up and
treat him like a round of hay.
16 is what I rolled.
That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit.
Okay, and 9 plus 2 for the hex blade, so 11 damage.
All right.
Wow.
This guy's dead.
Nice.
Yeah. He's out. All right. And
Well, I would gain health points if I was missing any.
oh, wow. Look at you! Look at you, big guy! Look at you, big boy!
Can you give me some health points? Just send them to me.
No,
Now, can you move this over to another person or no?
no, not at this level.
Okay. All right.
Not for a while. Hex you can move over, but
Don't do that. Don't do
Curse
that.
now.
I don't want that.
All right, Saber.
Okay, so I'll move Saber over to who's dead?
The
No, I just want to make sure. This
is real Dungeons and
Yeah,
Dragons with Theater of the Mind.
That's
here.
right. Okay, so the person that Saber has just shocking grasped and that has been Eldritch blasted and now has been poked like a spear into a hay bale. That guy's dead.
And that was the caster.
The caster has ran away 10 to 15 feet so he could thunderclap
Gotcha.
while waking up his people but not damaging them. Yeah.
He could have just thaumaturgied.
Right.
So it's the sword guy who was dead.
The swordsman is dead.
It's the
headsman
swordsman.
is dead.
The headsman's dead.
Yeah.
Okay. So Saber's going to run towards the caster.
Okay. All right. And next up is Jonas.
Okay. Jonas will also look at the caster. How far away is the caster from me?
He is about 70, 80 feet away from you now. He ran opposite
70,
direction
80
from
feet.
you. Yep.
Right. And then who's in between me and the caster?
5 mooks, Abel, and the big bad bandit.
The leader?
Yep, the leader.
How far is the leader away?
30 feet.
30 feet? Yep. All right. I'm going to Ray of Frost the leader.
Nice.
The very powerful cantrip, Ray of Frost, which will be a 12.
Okay, but it's going to be a minus. It's going to be a -5 because he's engaged directly with Abel here.
Because he's in cover?
He's in cover. He's in 3/4 cover.
So
I'm seeing some shaking heads.
Abel's that big.
Yeah.
So it misses or it hits?
It's going to miss.
It's going to miss
That's a
because you're
miss.
saying it'll turn down to a 7.
It shoots over
It
my
shoots
shoulder.
right over his shoulder. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Well, listen. If you take issue with that ruling, just remember that he forgot to give you disadvantage on the last roll.
Oh, that's true. Oh my
that's
god,
fair.
I totally
That is fair.
forgot.
That is fair.
I forgot to give you disadvantage on that one.
We're gonna forget that, and I'll just take. I shot it over Abel's shoulder. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay, so Abel.
Who's this guy in front of me? He's the leader guy.
He's the
but,
leader.
What's paint a word picture for me.
So this guy is he's got a beard. He's carrying a scimitar in one hand. He does not look like a badass soldier by any means. But he's real mad. He wants to take your head off.
Okay.
Also, his name is Steven.
Did you use Fantasy Name Generator or some other site for that name?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So then there's the 5 mooks, and they're all kind of getting up. They're a little disoriented because everything was okay, and then they fell asleep, and then they woke up, and people.
That's
are
right.
fighting.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. So I am gonna yell loud enough for everybody here to hear.
They didn't always call me Abel Rock Brother,
back in the bad old days, back in the red days, they called me Abel of Tempest. I'm going to attack with my spear.
Yeah, that's a miss. That's a 10. He got a 10, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a miss.
And I'm going to use my War Priest ability to take a...
Tempest, goddammit, give me another chance.
And I use my War Priest bonus action to attack again. That's a 14.
14 is going to hit.
6 damage.
That's going to kill this guy.
Nice.
And then I say, now put down your goddamn spears.
And as Steven is falling down, he drops his spear, and you see him, like, as he hits the ground, he looks at you, and and he kind of seems to almost shrug, like, I put my spear down, but he's also dead. So, and the caster sees this and is super upset by it, and raises up a crossbow and shoots it at you, Abel. And a 22. Ooh. What's your armor class?
18.
Oh, so 22 is going to hit.
That's going to hit.
And 9 damage.
He does 9 damage. I instantly fall over.
Oh, man.
And the healer goes down.
And the healer goes down.
Damn it.
And as the healer goes down, Despo Goodshower runs past and sort of looks down with sort of sad eyes at Abel, and swings her massive glaive that she carries around with her at the first mook she sees.
Rolls a 20.
And she is going to kill that mook, and then she continues moving, and the next mook she sees, she hits.
Ooh.
And kills that mook.
Oh my god!
And so we have 2 mooks down, and two sort of leader boss guys down, and it is the mooks who have been waking up. One of them is close to being engaged with Despo, and I mean, literally everyone, and they've just now seen her for the first time, and the one closest to her starts to run away, and provokes an attack of opportunity from Despo, and that is also going to hit. And this one also takes 9 damage and is now dead. And
had to wait till I was dead, huh?
And they all run. All the mooks, the 2 mooks still alive are running, and the one with the crossbow and the spell casting ability is still up and is scared but not running. And we're back to Filnyr.
And how far away is he?
From you, he is about 80 feet away.
Okay. Too far to throw, too far to... Okay.
Oh, wait, no, you charged the other guy. He's only 40 feet away.
I went 30 feet to the other guy, so he should be about 50?
He's about 50 feet away, yeah.
50 feet away. It wouldn't make sense to hex him yet, so I think, given the range, I would cast Eldritch Blast at him. And that rolls a 20. And 3 damage. And then I would move toward Abel's body.
Okay.
Not quite knowing what else to do. I don't know if I can reach it if I'm close enough.
You can reach it, yep.
Yeah. So I'll... go to Abel's body and sort of, prop my shield up.
Oh, that's nice of you to protect him from the crossbow.
Well, from me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he's down.
Yeah, he is down. Yeah. Oh,
That's my turn.
Abel. All right, Saber.
Okay, so Saber
Saber's right out upon him.
ran over to the caster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do shocking grasp on the caster.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Shocking grasp, is that a cantrip?
It's a cantrip, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do shocking grasp on the caster. And
That's
that's
gonna
a
miss.
10. Blast. Okay.
All right.
And then,
Sorry, go ahead. You have a move action or something?
no.
Okay.
It's Jonas next, right?
Well,
Abel.
your action was the
Right.
shocking
Oh,
grasp.
that was Jonas's action. I got you.
That was
I
your
got you.
shocking grasp.
Yep.
Yeah. So Abel,
Yeah.
where did you go minus or did you go to 0?
Yeah, I go to 0, so I just got to roll a death save.
All right, so he's now rolling the first death save of the Dungeon Dads podcast, ladies
Did
and
not
gentlemen.
think it would happen this early. Well, level 1's always tough.
Yikes.
Ooh, and it's a fail.
Oh, it's a 5.
That's a 5. That's a fail.
Damn it.
That's one down.
That's one fail.
One fail. Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
And Despo looks over and says, I think you guys got this one. And she chases after the mooks who are running away.
Do we though?
Yes, I think you do. And she pulls off her other spear that she has on her back, her other throwing spear, and she tosses it at the closest one who's running away. She hits. Oh, hits but does not kill. All right. And the guy with the crossbow who is really getting his ass handed to him now. He looks around and he drops his crossbow and he holds his hands up and he says, I surrender. I surrender. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We were trying to get out of that camp before the whole thing comes down on us.
Before what thing comes down on you? Why did you defect?
Well, we didn't really defect. We just ran away.
Isn't that the definition of defecting?
Well, no, that's the definition of running away. We're not going to the other
side.
army. No, we're just trying to get away. We don't want to be there when the mercenaries come.
Mercenaries?
Big bad dudes. Bad dudes coming. They're coming from the Breen. They're coming from the Adaran army.
Hasn't there not been a battle from the Adaran army in over a year?
This is not the regulars. They brought in men from the real front.
I see.
Am I close enough to hear all this, or am I?
Yeah. We're out of initiative. We're
Okay.
You guys are now have these guys. The 2 mooks got away.
I'm still dead.
Does anybody have any way to get this guy up to 1 hit point?
No.
Nope.
You,
All right.
over there, what is your
Despo-
name?
Despo pours a healing potion down your throat.
Wait, she ran off.
No, she stopped chasing him. She tossed the spear and then that's
Let him
that's
go.
all she has. Yeah,
And then he
she
just
let him
hobbled
go.
off with a spear hanging out of his shoulder.
Yeah, it right in his kneecap. Yeah. He broke it off and continued walking.
Okay, so
Despo comes back.
Despo's giving me a heal.
Yeah, 2d4. Give yourself 2d4.
2d40.
3.
That's 3 hit points. So I
Yeah,
and then I just go. Did they put down their spears?
yeah, something like that. They put him down.
And I just sort of look around. I go, I guess not.
Ma'am, what should we do with that one? He's still here. He's still alive.
Well,
He ran because he was afraid.
if this is a real battle, we'd probably just go ahead and run him through right here. I suppose we should bring him on back to the fort, though.
What about the others?
Where's Willem?
Oh, geez, where is Willem? Where is he? Oh, hey,
We're always losing that guy.
Hey guys.
Sneaky little
Hey
fucker.
guys, I'm over here. I just took my own initiative over there with Doug. But that's when Steve captured me. Looks like Steve got what was coming to him. A bad thing is, man, is I knew all these people pretty well, and I just feel just awful about this all this death and destruction over here. But I guess they have what's coming to them, don't you think?
Willem, I'm going to be real honest. You give me the heebie-jeebies.
Hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I get that a lot.
I mean, you did kill a man on the hill just for nothing.
No, man. He was hiding. I saw him. I knew if I didn't do that, then he was going to tell him I was there. But unfortunately, I got him in the stomach and not the throat. So he was able to call out, and then there's 8 of them and 1 of me. And so you can sort of see how this whole thing probably played out. I just put my weapons down and thought, oh, well, these are my old friends, man. They're going to let me go.
And then I Cream Puff, what's your name? What's your name again?
Filnyr. Is that
Listen.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Phil, I'm going to call you Phil. Phil, next time you go first.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand what's happening. You are afraid of some warrior bandits. Didn't they just attack this fort not too long ago?
The Darren army hired some goddamn mercenaries to attack the goddamn fort. Now everybody's shitting their goddamn pants.
Where's this band now?
Well, it's you're asking the captured guy, right?
Yes.
Well, we did go to Breentown just a few days ago, and we saw 25 hardened soldiers. One of them was I don't know how to describe this, but he was a gnomish fellow, and he was riding on the back of a panther. And he was whipping up the Adaran soldiers into a damn near frenzy, and we hightailed and ran and paid the dues at the tower, and the tower guards had not heard a word of the mercenaries that were coming, and when we went on our next leave, the tower was completely remanned with mercenaries from the Adaran capital, and they were not allowing us free movement across the border anymore.
So they've closed the border.
Yeah, as far as I know, they have closed the border, and this whole area is moving toward real war.
And you think you're better off running away on your own in the woods than standing with the entire army?
Well, we were supposed to meet the cavalry here, and they were supposed to give us a ride north to Monterre, and they said that we would find sanctuary in Monterre, and we
Sanctuary in Monterre.
Yes.
And where is this cavalry now?
Well, we were waiting here for them. That's why we would not have just been waiting here so close to the fort if it wasn't for a good reason. And the reason was they were bringing horses for us to ride with them and head up to Monterre. We've been promised sanctuary from Lord Reinhold Erlington, who is the new governor of Monterre.
Lord Reinhold Erlington is the what?
He's the new governor of Monterre.
Hey, General, that's where you're from, right?
All right, I get the joke. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I am from Monterre, and I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding this new governor they're speaking of. This person is a complete ass face, but.
So you know it.
Oh, most definitely. He works for my family.
Doesn't sound like he works.
Would you say you're the general of him too?
Of course.
I see. I get it. I understand. I get it. Say no more.
Abel,
Yeah, the governor of Monterre works for your fam. Yeah.
sir, we will have words about this later. Listen, you were offered sanctuary in Monterre. This cavalry is coming to pick you up. You've been waiting here. Why would Monterre offer you sanctuary? Why are you running away?
Well, I think that Monterre has thrown their hat in with Adair.
Adair? What?
With Duke Adair, the Adairan Empire. I think they've thrown their hat in with him.
Are you serious?
That's the only explanation I have. All I know is we were promised sanctuary if we abandoned the fort, and that's what we were doing.
Wait a second. This is the first thing I've heard that was actually interesting. Promised by who?
Well, we were promised by one of the new recruits who came here and said he was a man from Monterre, and he was working with the Adarans, and that this whole thing was about to come unraveled.
I give Despo a meaningful look. Does this new recruit have a name?
Well, if he was a spy, he's not going to give us a real name, I guess.
What name he tell you, and why'd you believe him in the first place?
Well, he said his name was Hank.
God damn it. And you deserted your post on the word of some dude named Hank.
Well, he was the first person other than Sergeant Despo here who told us there would be fighting, and he seemed quite certain of it.
Oy.
And none of us want to fight. I'm assuming all of you don't want to fight either. Do you? Do you want to fight, sir? General? Is that your name, General?
Wait, you're gonna desert the army, bring a whole bunch of fellas with you, and travel up to Monterre on the word of a man named Hank.
Well, I guess when you put it like that,
I tell you, sometimes this world just doesn't make any sense to me.
And I'm most certainly not going to let people suffer and die just so that I can save my own skin. Yes, I do not like fighting, but it sounds like there's going to be a lot of trouble coming this way. We have to stand tall, and we have to fight.
oh damn, I like hearing you talk there, Blueberry. How about we head back to the fort and let them know what we learned, and see if we can get some more men up here. Sounds like we're gonna have to reinforce that border a little bit.
Do you have any more of them healing potions?
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to really rethink having our one guy who's supposed to heal us up fighting on the front line.
I really thought those boys were gonna... Well, let's just say that wasn't the plan. And I wheeze through my punctured lung.
Miss Goodshower, ma'am, do you have perhaps the men need more inspiration? Perhaps they need some sort of is there a song for the army?
A song. Let's see here. It's nice for you to ask. We don't have like a theme song or anything like that, but we do have a short little poem that maybe you could put to music. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. Do tell me the words.
I don't remember all of them, but I do remember that King Hark, you're here to rid the world of the pestilence of the dwarves and the gnomes and the elves, and we stand with you as we do your good
I'm sort of
work
looking
across
sidelong.
the soil.
That doesn't sound like a song that doesn't sound like a poem that turns much into a song. Perhaps I can offer something a little bit different. Maybe we can lighten the mood a little bit after this.
Sure. Yeah, do what you got to do there. You did some good killing there. I'm proud you're in my unit. I'll tell you that much.
All right. We are here to serve King Hark at fort her pass. We shall stand tall against a dare and stick spears in their ass. I am the man of Paraso.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, we can leave now. I do need to get back to the fort.
Sort of look at, okay. I mean, that was great. I really like the part about asses. That was fantastic.
Good. I hope it sticks in your head for a while.
And not in your ass.
I do like a good dirty joke. All right, so let's return to the fort and maybe we can all rest and.
Before we leave, is there? Can I pilfer through some of the dudes that are on the ground?
Yes, there are weapons to be found. We should return the weapons and things that might be useful if there is in fact a battle to come.
No. You don't understand. I have a store in Fort Pass, and I need items to sell.
Oh,
Is that
eventually-
how this works?
Eventually, if I get some good capital rolling in, I can buy spells for us to take on our journeys. You would have to then buy the spells from me, but I can have the spells for us. I can have the potions for healing
me just
and
say-
all those types of things. But first, I need to steal whatever is over here in the. This guy is very dead over here. This is nasty, it's gross.
If your business plan is to hunt deserters, take their army issued equipment, and then sell it back to the army at a profit, if that works, that seems like a no fail business model.
I'm starting from the bottom, Abel. I've got to start somewhere.
That's some real Blackwater shit there. That's some real Lockheed and Martin.
So you I guess you guys allow Ionis to.
yeah. What do we find?
Yeah, so you
know there's
you
a
find
sword
3
and a scimitar,
scimitars, and you
least.
find 4 clubs, and you find 8, or not 8. You find 6 Hark issue.
Jonas, I got a question for you.
Chainmail, etc.
How are you going to carry all this stuff back?
and There's no way.
Can't carry those home.
Damn it! Haven't thought that far. Need those horses they talked about. A horse and a carriage. I'll come back.
Where's Mr. Percy when you need it?
Yeah, right.
Where's Mr. Percy? Has anyone seen Mr. Percy?
Now, I need to get back to the fort, but maybe, Miss Goodshower, does it make sense to rest here for a bit, given that we have someone with an injury, and then return, or should we make haste?
Well, we can be here. Let's tend to our wounds a little bit.
Listen, I don't care how hurt I am. I don't want to be here when those horse boys show up if it's just us.
Yeah, I tend to agree with old Fainty McFarlane over here.
Oh, Jesus, don't let that become a thing.
It will become a thing, McFarlane.
Let's just head on back to the fort, fellas. You can send we can send some men out here to pick up this armor. I don't think these guys had much on them themselves. These are pretty lowbrow deserters.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you guys start to head back to toward the fort, and when you sort of clear the hill and you sort of get into the clearing a little bit, you can sort of see smoke rising from the direction of the tower. So this is like toward the Breen, toward the Adaran territory. And you can sort of make out, probably this is like a little bit less than a mile away. So you can sort of see figures a little bit, but not make out anything very specific about them. You see that probably probably 100 men on horseback are riding in your general direction, but they head north up the mountain, about half a mile away from you, and sort of move up Red Cloud, and don't come toward you at all. And when you
Does Good Shower know anything about them?
Good Shower, now she says, "Oh Jesus, that looks like a lot more men than the cavalry that left us. This is I don't like this one bit." And when you get back to the fort, the other unit has not returned, and Waverly Cloudsack is waiting there, and he says, "Ionis Sihavind, I have an urgent message from Monterre.
Yes, what is it?
You're being recalled at once." And that's it. That's the episode, fellas.
Wow.
So, good work. Jeez. Fun stuff. We have our first death roll.
Oh my gosh. I thought that badass speech was going to go over a lot. It would have gone over a lot better if I hadn't immediately been felled by a crossbow bolt. Less than 2 seconds after. Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Everyone, drop your spears.
That was pretty intense. That crossbow. I must have rolled an 8 on that.
Yeah, you did.
That was
8 plus
crazy.
1. How many hit points do you
that
have,
was pretty-
Sam?
8.
Yeah.
Oh,
How do I have more hit points than you? That's so strange.
Because
got
I
more than
have
9.
a 0 con.
yeah.
Which
So
is not
here's the good
great
news,
for a
fellas.
frontline fight.
Yeah.
That's a whole another discussion.
But here's the good news. You are all now level 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. And when we pick up next time, we will be in the fort, and you will have you'll find out some more information. You will have rested. You will have learned your spells that you need to learn.
Yes.
And
The store will be stocked with 2 scimitars, 3 spears, and 5 suits
written
of
it all down.
chainmail slightly used.
I've written it all down.
I have to say, like, we haven't really talked about what's in the store. I'm just gonna put this out there. Like, you have someone who has a skill that makes something that might be really good to sell there.
You talking about Filnyr with his little glasswork?
His not glasswork, his cream puff.
Oh, you're right. I sell some food.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna sell some food too. I wanted to be like a grocery store and then a little arcane shop in the back, because we're gonna need provisions when we go on the road and stuff. I'm gonna be like, hey,
Listen,
I've got to just come and pack whatever. Just I'll give you a 30% discount.
I really hope we don't have a steady stream of military gear coming in here that we can rely on, because I don't like what that says about my survival chances.
Yeah, no, that bodes poorly for the army.
Yeah, true that.
I want to let everyone know that we have also recorded all of the origin stories for each one of these characters, so you can sort of see where Jonas Silverwind, how he got his store, and why he's a little bit confused about where and when is all these things are happening. And Abel Rockbrother, his adventure with the dwarves, which led him straight to the fort. And you can also be able to hear where Filnyr found the sword, and learned how to cook those delicious cream puffs. Fellas, you have anything you want to add? Any plugs?
Yeah, listen to a podcast called Dungeon Dads.
Dungeon Dads. Yeah.
Let's plug this podcast.
Click
that you're
subscribe.
listening to.
Tell some friends.
Smash that subscribe button.
And I've heard that 5-star reviews on Apple or
I
Google
will tell
Podcasts are
you.
a way to help us get some
Yeah,
followers,
review
listeners.
us. Please review us on iTunes. We cannot count on our friends and family to review us. I can already tell you. You want to know my mom's review of this podcast? I like the parts where you were talking, but it's not really my thing. 3 stars.
Oh yeah, 5 stars helps more than anything else.
Yes.
As I'm sure you know if you listen to podcasts.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, please only give us 5 stars. If you are going to give us something lower than a 5-star, just don't. Just rethink it.
Just tell it to our face.
Yeah, 5 stars, talk some trash. It's all good.
Yeah. 5 stars. I hate these guys. What is it with their voices? 5 stars. All right. Well, this is Dungeon Dads. I'm Tom Blaylock. I'm your dungeon master. I'm joined by Sam Frank, aka Abel Rock Brother. Abel, you want to say goodbye?
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. John Watson, Ionis Silhavind,
Many happy returns to your day.
and Tim Carr, Filnyr, Oma Geronima, Oma.
Toodaloo.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah. All right, Dungeon Dad signing off.
Goodie for all of us.
All right. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and thank you also to those of you who are about to do it right now. I hope you had as much fun listening as we have making these things. Check out our website, dungeondads.com, and our subreddit, r/DungeonDads, and you can also follow us on Twitter at DungeonDadsPod. We release full episodes every other week on Mondays, but don't fret, during off weeks, the Dungeon Dads still have you covered. We release interstitials, such as one-off origin episodes, side quests, level ups, Q&As, and table talk. For instance, next week, you'll get both the character creation episode where the Dad Gang rolls for their beginning stats using a weird Dungeon Dad exclusive house rule method that we think creates quite a bit of fun drama, and which you'll see is going to reverberate throughout our show. For instance, here in episode 1, Welcome to Harkness, Abel's paltry 8 constitution and a lack of hit points contribute to him getting knocked out, and Jonas's knobby-kneed weakness means he can't wear armor and he can barely lift the Hark spear when it's assigned to him. Next week, you will also hear the dads level up to 2nd level and discuss the spells and abilities they choose and how those things might affect the story that we are trying to tell about the Breen Valley. Finally, thank you to our family and our friends who have helped make this silly project a reality. Above all, Kiyomi, Leah, Amanda, and Jen. You all are exceedingly kind and indulgent partners who have supported us in our attempt to keep hanging out with our friends and playing at something we love even as grown-ass men. I'll see you all next week on the Dungeon Dads podcast. I can't wait to see you there. Bye.